I think that's a super interesting topic. What you just um, said is with this merchant of record, basically.
Hmm.
Because let's say I'm only selling to the US now, but I'm also uh, having the plan of expanding to multiple countries, and I want to make it as easy as possible for the
Hmm.
potential clients of those countries to become a client to buy my product. When should
Hmm.
I look into this? When should I work with a merchant of record? What is a merchant of record for all the people out there who never heard of that terminology? Maybe you can go a little bit more into that as well.
Yeah, so think of a merchant of record. It's kind of gotten more popularity now more than ever, I would say. Stripe just acquired a merchant of record business. I think it was earlier last year, as part of their portfolio. Lemon Squeezy was the name of it. Um, and I work for merchant of record, so that's helpful too, just because I know the landscape very well. But basically, what it is that it allows you to unlock global markets and get those payment methods and get like local payment processing performance without having to go in and set up an entity, which now there's tax implications. Sometimes you have to have a person that works in that region to comply and be a full entity. It kind of takes all that burden away. Now, like, when do you want to access that and like kind of look at it? It is harder to obtain than just a traditional payment processor. Like, not everybody can sign up for one. Um, in terms of when you want to look at it, is like when you have like product market fit. So let's say you're testing some markets here and you see like, hey, I got traction. I'm selling 50 grand here. People are, they don't have access to certain payment methods that I need. That's when you want to start to investigate, to see if a merchant of record may be the option for you for that region. 50,
Mhm.
50 to 100,000, I would say.
So the reason why people use it is basically to avoid all this hassle with, let's say, I'm also selling to the UK, for example, setting up
Mhm.
maybe an entity there, and dealing with the taxes there and so on. I can just use that merchant of record. He's like the merchant for me in this country, and I can
Mhm.
sell my products over him. Is this how people can maybe understand it?
Yep. Yeah, I mean, I think you kind of hit it there. That's exactly what it would be. So they would be basically at the terms and conditions, like at checkout, you'll see like a badge for the merchant of record, whoever you're using, and the customer would click, or they would see the terms and conditions or the badge, and it's like a reseller. It's almost like an instantaneous. The merchant of record is actually buying the product and reselling it back to the consumer. That's how it works in just like an example purpose, right? So merchant of record is there, you're using, they're purchasing the product and then reselling it right back to the consumer. And this all happens at checkout. It's instantaneous. So
Mhm.
yeah, I mean, you could use it there if you got, looking to really have local access in that market. And it really helps increase the conversion rates, because if you don't have an entity in certain markets, you can lose like 10 to 15% of customers due to false declines. You could just decline the card because you don't have an entity there. So you can lose a lot of conversions with not having the right payment processor. It could be a massive issue.
Interesting. Do you see any other benefits besides saving on the hustle of setting up everything myself, and besides not having this payment declines?
Yeah, I mean, you're not able to get certain payment methods if you don't have like an entity. So that's a major, major advantage, right? Like if you don't have, let's say in India, for example, if you don't have UPI in India, like that's going to be a major issue, right? And so the same goes for like, Ideal in the Netherlands or Bank Contact in Belgium, right? If you don't have those payment methods and you're trying to exert with Visa and MasterCard, you're going to miss out on an immense amount of opportunity there. I mean, it's like 50% of the market's going to pay with certain payment methods. So if you're just trying to go in and you don't have an entity there, you're going to lose those methods because you're required to have an entity in certain areas to access those payment methods. So you're going to lose on performance. You're going to lose on performance. You're going to pay more, right? And then you're going to lose on payment methods. So it's like you got three issues already going in without an entity. So if you can use that merchant record as the entity, that's going to have a tremendous uplift without you having to go in and do it on your own, which can take time, right? It takes months, years sometimes.
So basically what you said saying is, number one, I don't have to hustle with it. Number two, I don't have that many declines. And number three, I can use local payment methods, whatever is common in this specific country where the clients are used to, which is increasing my conversion rate. And it makes sense as soon as I tested a country and I make, for example, 50 to 100K revenue there per month, then you say it makes sense to look into such a merchant of record.
Yep, exactly. 100%.
Okay, nice.